So can we go back to your search for self-worth? I find it fascinating. So what eventually helped? What worked?
So at the theoretical level, of course, it's disassociating my self-worth from dollars in bank account or dollars in salary or whatever. And that is probably the big thing. And then there's this whole idea. So that's one, and that's sort of like on the micro level. At the macro level, for me, it was quite a bit of therapy around talking these things out. I mean, I am not the most in my day-to-day life, I would say, the most verbose or articulate with my feelings. It's very much just swallow it. Don't actually be numb to it so that you can work and work really hard and not get distracted, and probably also just skewed views of emotion from my upbringing. I don't know where they come from, but really just having this interesting perspective on life and work and success, that emotion or being in touch with feelings or vulnerability or things along those lines was a sign of weakness, and that I should just be what I viewed as success, or what I aspired to be, or how I wanted to behave, was more in this realm of don't have emotion, because that distracts you. Don't have feelings. Don't be able to articulate them. Just focus on the work and just do it. And other things will pull you away from that. And it took me a long time to learn that that's not the approach that works for me. And I had to, I think, learn those lessons, and also come in contact with this idea of what I like. Because I was, for some reason, again, I was just very much in this world of, it's what I should do. It's the right thing to do. It gets you to this theoretical next step of what success looks like based on some made up definition that I had. So that was another piece, which is just get in contact with what you want, where you feel alive. Just get in contact with feeling at all from a foundational level. So those were the things in the past that I think colored my view. And a lot of it, I shouldn't speak disparagingly about all of it, because it helped me, I think, work really hard and differentiate myself and find a lot of success, again, depending on how you define it, but broadly defined, let's just say. But taking time to just sort of do what can be seen as maybe boring or weird or whatever work of therapy and just talking with someone about these things and learning about myself and, why do I feel this way, and what do I like and what do I not like, and what does feeling alive even mean? Building some semblance of self-awareness and then being able to articulate that to other people and to myself. Those things were extremely helpful in helping me find what I love. And I think it also just goes back to the thing of, what are the things that are easy? That the things that are easy aren't necessarily bad or less valuable or a sign that you're not a success. And reframing my view of those things, I'd say those three things helped me get in closer contact with who I am.
Your definition of success included financial success and being laser focused on your work, right? So you would at that time think that you're less successful if you allow yourself not to be focused, but be distracted by feelings and emotions.
I'd say that is a accurate description. Yes.
How would you define success today after you've done all this internal work?
Three things. One is doing work where you're completely devoted to it, where it feels like your life's work. Now, that's obviously like, oh, great. Yeah, I would love to feel that way. But yeah, I mean, that for me, number one. Number two, doing that with people you love and respect, even if it means, let's just use it in the context of a startup, even if it means you own less of the company, or you don't always go with your decision, or whatever that might be. So that's number two. And number three is truly feeling like what you're doing is adding net new value to the world, inventing something on behalf of or to serve others and make them more successful or whatever. Those three things, for me, in a professional context, are how I view success. And it really just comes back to the cliche of it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. Sure. But those are the three components of the journey that for me truly define success. Just fully into one thing, my life's work, and then two, with people I love and respect, and then three, truly feeling like I'm inventing something where just, if I look back on my life from my deathbed, feeling those things about what I was doing, regardless of money or fame or whatever, I will be happy on my deathbed if I was able to at least aim for and focus on those three things.
If we switch to your personal side, how would you like to feel about your life? Like going back to your deathbed
Sure.
example. So if you're on your deathbed, how would you want to look back at your life and remember what was really amazing and the right thing to do in your personal life?
I want to be proud of what I gave to my wife and kids. Meaning, I find that I am, one of the things I struggle with is focusing on more than one thing at one time. So in my personal life, it is all my wife and my kids. Other people are really good at having relationships with their parents, their in-laws, those sorts of things. Even a large group of friends. And while in theory all that stuff seems awesome, and I'm working on cultivating relationships with other, dad friends who are roughly my age, these are things that I'm working on, but focus on what I gave to my kids and my wife, just in terms of being there consistently and with loyalty. And for me, it's not time, because I spend so much time on my work and I love that. And I don't feel maybe the shame of if my daughter were to say, Dad, you work a lot, because I do time box it, and then I do have quality time with my kids. And so I'm not going to check the box on spent most of all day with the kids. Honestly, yeah, I'm always going to be working on something that checks those three initial boxes for the rest of my life. I love it. It brings me the joy, and it allows me to bring that joy to my wife and to my kids. So I think that's it. The one way, and as you can tell, I'm sort of processing this because I haven't thought about that component of the question, the personal piece. So yeah, I think it's just, there's this idea of never giving up on them, and then giving them everything I have in my life outside of that. And what I mean by never giving up, just to give one note, is I feel like one of my parents kind of gave up on, not on his life, and there wasn't anything around suicide or anything like that, but just in terms of trying as hard as they could. And that made me very sad, and I think didn't mess me up. I don't want to say that, but I'm still working through that. So I want to show my kids that I want to give them everything I can, just all effort, like not with whatever time I give them, and my wife, with whatever time I give them. And obviously this is an impossible standard, but aiming for it, I'm going to give them my full effort on engagement. And that doesn't necessarily mean doing things, but it does mean focus and attention, I think, as the aim. And then showing them in other portions of my life that I'm giving my all, that I'm not giving up. Because I tend to think that's one of the most important things a person can give to this world in terms of a one-on-one human example, is just things are going to knock you down. That's the one thing I want people to know from me, that I just kept getting back up. And I think that's maybe the most beneficial thing I can give to my kids.